The Tennessee Titans might need another Music City miracle on Monday Night Football as the red-hot Buffalo Bills come into town. This game has a 53-point implied total with the visiting Bills as 6-point favorite. Now, before we start talking about props, make sure that you're subscribed or that you're following, and definitely drop a like on this video as it really helps me grow as a content creator. Now let's get into it. First prop I want to talk about is Devin Singletary's 24.5 rushing yards over on PrizePicks. I've seen him on some other books as high as 28.5 rushing yards, so the 24.5 might be a little bit soft on behalf of PrizePicks. Not to mention, according to props.cash, he's covered this prop in every game this season. That's a 100% hit rate. He's averaging almost 57 rushing yards per game, which gives us plenty of headroom versus where he's projected over on PrizePicks. And according to the Blitz by Derek Carty, he's projected for 42.5 rushing yards, which gives us about a 74% edge if you like the over here. Now, as good as the over sounds, the under could be a play as well due to one big factor, and that's running back Zach Moss. Singletary was outsnapped by Zach Moss in week 5, 42 snaps to 15, a pretty big discrepancy. Moss also had double the touches that Devin Singletary had in week 5, 14-7. And even when the game was out of reach, the Buffalo Bills turned to Zach Moss to ice the clock and seal the deal for the Buffalo Bills. And if you don't play on PrizePicks yet, now's a great time to do so. They're giving you a 100% instant deposit match on your first deposit up to $100. Head to prizepicks.com today and use promo code Curry to take advantage of this deal. Now for the Titans side, the prop that I'm looking at is Derrick Henry's rushing yards at 94.5. According to props.cash, he's covered this prop in 4 out of 5 games. That's an 80% hit rate to start the season. Henry's averaging 128 rushing yards per game, and he leads the league in total rushing yards and in yards per game average. And according to the Blitz by Derek Carty, he's projected for over 112 rushing yards, which puts him over the PrizePicks total tonight, presenting an edge of about 17%. Now, a case could also be made for the under on these 94.5 rushing yards, as Buffalo ranks second in the NFL in rushing yards allowed per game to opposing running backs. They're giving up just under 50 yards per game. And it's worth noting that in 3 career games versus the Bills, Henry has failed to cover 94.5 rushing yards. The most rushing yards he's had in a single game versus the Bills, just 78 yards, and his career average is under 64 yards per game. And finally, against the high-powered Arizona Cardinals in week 1, the Tennessee Titans found themselves trailing early, meaning Derrick Henry was game scripted out and only had 58 rushing yards on the day. So what do you think about these props? Are you taking the over or the under? Let me know in the comments below.